need to do is to utilize every single space that you have. So as people, we want to utilize every single space. I think this is what gives us the most happiness, is when you have things designated for a certain thing and you use that space accordingly. So because we're off this world, you want to utilize the space of the world, but to do that it's a bit difficult because you need money, you need to be rich, you need to be wealthy, you need to have abundance. But since we can't start with the world, you have to start with your house. So you start with every single room in your house. You need to start utilizing every single space in your house, because this is something that I noticed about the way that I grew up, is that we did not utilize every single space in the house. And because of that, the energy was not, I don't want to say it was low, but the energy was not as high as it should have been, you see, because there were rooms that were not filled with energy. There were rooms that were fucking empty. So you need to utilize the rooms in your house. You need to utilize the space. If you have a room that's not doing anything, then change it into something that you can actually use positively and productively on a daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, so that you're putting energy into that room and you're putting positive vibes, and that's just gonna uplift you. It's gonna uplift the people that come around. It's just gonna bring up the spirits of everything that passes and enters through that house, because you've left that energy in that room. And I'm sure you notice this, man. You can tell when a place is abandoned and dead, and you can tell when a place is lively and people have been living there and been using the space. So trust me, bro. People call it energy, whatever it is, bro. You notice something about the room. That's what you need to know, that you are going to notice when the room is empty. You are going to be able to tell that people have not been staying there for like months. These are things that you just innately know. So don't think I'm crazy when I'm out here walking on the road chatting you mans this shit in the middle of the goddamn road. Because you need to understand, bro, it's all about energy. And it's not even all about energy, it's about perception, bro. So the way you perceive things is due to the fact that there is movement within that space and there's activity within that space. And because you see activity within that space, ultimately you're going to perceive it as energy. Even though there's energy at all times, every single place in the world, there's energy at all times. Even in a vacuum, there's energy. So it comes down to your perception. So the more you use that room, the more enlightened your perception will be towards utilizing that space. You need to use that space positively, man. Every single time. You see, like, there's people go out on walks. They go out to walk because they're utilizing the space and they're putting the energy there. And ultimately what ends up happening is the country becomes a more positive, more vibrant place, because people are utilizing the spaces. So do not waste space, man. I honestly believe that most unhappiness comes from that, is that people have things but they do not use them. Or you do not have things but you want things that you want to use but you just do not have them. So you may want to have a home gym, you may want to work out and do all of it, but you don't have a home gym. Then there's someone who has a home gym but they don't fucking use it, and now their house feels empty and their house feels dead, and they start to get sick, they start to get mental health issues. And it's all just perception, man. And the perception is created by utilizing the space in your house, utilizing the space in the world. Everything that the world has to give you, utilize it. If it's free, it's even better, because you know you don't have to pay shit, so you don't have that burden on you, you know, for paying the cost to do whatever you want to do. it was freely given to you. But that burden can be a good thing, because that burden can push you to be serious, and it can push you to push yourself and to execute in the most professional manner. Because once you pay a cost, ultimately you're tied to the outcome of whatever you paid for. Now you have an emotional connection, because we have an emotional connection with money, because money is tied into our value. So once you have an emotional connection because you paid the cost, and now you have that burden on you, you now have the burden of performance to not put that money to waste. Ultimately, you're going to utilize your money. And that's how you should be, man. I think the most happiness that you're ever going to have in your life is when you're utilizing the things that you have. So the more that you have, the more you can utilize. And the depression starts when you have so many things, but you're not using them. You don't have the energy to utilize them. I think that's where depression starts. It's either from there, or it's from you completely do not have shit and you get depressed. Or you have a lot of shit, you just don't have the energy to use it, start getting depressed. So you need to utilize space in your house. If the things that are in your house do not interest you, let's say you bought a house, it came with a home gym, but you do not like to work out, convert that gym into something else that you're going to use, just so that you can constantly be going back into that room and using that room. Because I promise you guys, you will feel the energy, people will feel it as well. And you can always feel that energy when something is being constantly used. And you can always feel that lack of energy when something is being constantly deprived. So, just something to think about. Short little video.